No money, no time, no knowledge. If any of these sound like reasons that you've not started in property investing, then this one's for you. I started with 33,000 in debt. That is credit cards, personal loans. I had no knowledge, and in fact, I then scrambled enough money to get together a £21,800 house purchase and then screwed it all up. So I really didn't have the money. I really didn't have time after that. I was just finishing uni, trying to get into the big world. And I definitely didn't have knowledge. Fast forward to today, we've done over 1,000 property transactions for my investors, and we personally own close to 200 properties. Let me show you the mistakes I made and how you cannot do them. Now, I want to break these down because the truth is these reasons are common, but they're not permanent, and you're not stuck unless you decide to be. And I really want you to get into that mindset shift. You need money to get into property. It's like, well, I can guarantee if you're broke, you're never going to get into property with that mindset. You need loads of time to do it. Yeah, okay, not true. If you've got barely any time, you won't do it. And oh, by the way, you need to have the knowledge and connections. It's who you know, not what you know. If you have those mindsets, you are limiting yourself already, because if you operate from that limiting belief, like Henry Ford says, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. So first of all, before we even go into how to do it, get your shit together. You need to get your mindset in the right place. Most people don't invest because they overestimate what it takes to start, or they underestimate what they're capable of doing bit by bit. So let's break down the three biggest barriers people face: money, time, and knowledge. Show you how to get past them, real practical steps. And then if property is something that you've been really meaning to do, I'm going to give you that opportunity and a roadmap where you can start making money. So let's talk about the three most common reasons people tell themselves, and it is tell themselves they can't start investing. First of all, let's start with no money. This is the big one, right? I'd invest in property. I'd love to invest, but invest with what? I've got 0 point fuck all in the bank account. The issue actually isn't the lack of money. It's a lack of a plan to build money or work with people that's actually got it. Most people think that they need tens of thousands, no, hundreds of thousands sat in the bank account going forward. That's just not true. You've got other options, joint ventures, for example. You bring in the time, the effort, the sweat equity is what we call it, and someone else brings the capital. And by the way, you don't believe they're out there. I had to go and do this for years with other people investing in me with no time and no bloody knowledge in the first place. And I believe in it so much that I'm now on the other side of it, and I now use my money with my mentees, for example, to fund their growth. And I've currently got over £6 million of my personal money in other people's projects. So I'm telling you, and by the way, who do I invest in? People in the first year of their property business. Do not give me excuses. Number two, rent to rents. Now, I'm not huge on rent to rents, but it is a very good level of property to get into some experience with low money in. So what you do with a rent to rent is you rent the property and then you manage it and rent it out for more than you pay. Yes, that's kind of hard to do on a buy-to-let. Most people do it on HMO basis or service accommodation basis. Let me just explain it. You rent out a whole property. Let's say it's a 4-bed and it's got a dining room and a kitchen. Typically, you turn that dining room into another bedroom, and then you rent out the now 5 bedrooms independently. So I might rent it for £1,000 and then rent out 5 rooms for £500. You're making £1,500 profit, but you're not. You're going to pay your bills, etc. And you might be left with £500-600 on a monthly basis. Not too shabby. The other one, service accommodation, you rent out, let's say, a 2-bed flat with the freeholder's permission to do this, and then you rent it out on a nightly basis on Airbnb or Booker.com. That is called rent to SA or rent to rent HMOs. Pretty standard. I'm not huge on them, but they are great ways of making money. And in fact, I used to have 14 rent-to-rents when I started in my property business. I did that in 6 months and I was making £7,000 a month net cash flow until I moved on to deal packaging, which I'll talk about in a second, and I packaged them onto an investor and got paid over £40,000 in one day. All right. So this is something, deal packaging, that gives you the option to make extra money while saving up to do your own property. I'll be open with you. I started my deal packaging business, and in my first year, I made £143,000. Not too shabby. Even then, I was like, it's only a short-term thing. I'm not going to do deal packaging over the long term, right? That would be ridiculous. It's for beginners. But actually, what I realized is, not only was it a great way of making a load of money, it also connected me to the two people that I wanted to build great relationships with. Agents to bring me the best deals available, and investors that had the money to buy them, or, down the line, loan me money to build my own portfolio. Fast forward to today, I still own that deal packaging business, and we do between 300,000 and 500,000 in revenue every single month. Whew. I'm going to breathe now. It builds up the savings through strict budgeting, small sacrifices now, and this is called delayed gratification. But if you can implement that, build up your cash pots, then deploy it, you'll make a load of money. So rent to rent, deal packaging, whatever is right for you, allow that to be your gold, invest your gold, and then it pays out silver on a monthly basis. Now, to do any of this, you need to understand that wealth is about make, manage, and multiply your money. Most people understand making money. You exchange your time, your skill in order to get paid. And you do that in business as well. One of the fastest ways and most aggressive ways of making money is going to be through some sort of portfolio building or deal packaging. Rent to rent is another option if you're looking to that quick, slightly passive income. Then we go to the other side, multiply. Most people understand investing. In property, my preference is boring vanilla buy-to-lets because I like my active money to be active. Let's make a shit ton of money as quickly and safely as possible. And then I like deploying it into a really passive, boring vanilla investment opportunity, which I call boring vanilla buy-to-let properties. What most people don't work on is actual money management. If you're not in control of your own monthly budget, investing in property just won't solve that. It will expose it, and you'll end up just spending more and more. You create really bad money management habits, and then you're no wealthier by the end of it. And by the way, a lot of rich people, big difference between rich and wealthy. They're rich but not wealthy. I know people that earn north of $500,000 a year, and they are still living paycheck to paycheck. How bloody crazy is that? Next is no knowledge. Property can feel intimidating, especially if you're new. The legal terms, strategies, risk, it's a bloody lot, right? And nobody starts as an expert. So it's easy sat here now filming God knows what number of YouTube videos now, over 1,000 YouTube videos, and going, yeah, this is what you do. But I've done over 1,000 property deals. But you have to realize, in order to do 1,000, I had to do my first 100. And in order to do the first 100, I had to do my first 10. And God bloody forbid, they were terrible, I tell you that for nothing. And I had to do my first deal. But in order to do my first deal, I had to go through my first rejection. In order to get my first rejection, I had to have the confidence to do my first bloody phone call. And so on and so on. Remember, every master was once a disaster. Every beginner was once a beginner. And it starts with the action that you take today. So start with the free content, okay? But be careful. Now, YouTube's great. Obviously, I'm here, and the difficult thing is, well, how do you know you can trust me? Now, there's Companies House. You can check out Aspire Trading House. You can set out my SPVs. You can see how long we've been running, the money we make, etc. But there's a lot of fakers out there. And it's great for ideas, but it's unstructured. What makes it right that you should listen to this video first before that one, that one, that one, that one, or that one? Who knows, right? So what you need to do is at a certain point in time, you need to decide who you're going to listen to, number one. Then you go deeper than just binging videos, okay? Inch wide, mile deep. So pick one strategy. For example, boring vanilla buy-to-lets, HMOs, service accommodation. I love them all really, and focus on learning it properly. So my personal preference, as you know, is the buy-to-lets, but every investment strategy has its pros and cons. Then you need to start looking into more credible sources. And this is not just YouTube, but it's books, for example, magazine articles. You can see one of my articles in Your Property Network, great magazine for people like this. And then find your educator. Now look, if you like me, that's great. I've got a company called Aspire Education. What I specialize in is being able to help people make their first 100K a year with 10 hours a week from anywhere in the world. If that sounds like you, great, put education in the comments. But you might be listening to me going, you sound like a knobhead, I don't really connect you. Cool, can't keep everyone, I'll cry myself to sleep, fuck you, move on to, no, I'm joking. But seriously, there's other people out there. You might watch another YouTuber who's very different to me and you go, actually, I'll connect with that person better than Jamie. Great. Look, there's enough people out there where you want to find your person And yes, I obviously have a motivation for you to pay for my course and pay for my mentoring, but I really don't care. I make my money from property. Education is just a really cool thing I get to do. Whether it's with me or somebody else, please invest in your education. Like, honestly, it baffles me. And the people that go, you can learn it all on Google. And I'm like, really? Why aren't you a millionaire then? If it's that simple, right? You need to actually find your person that you connect with, that's educated, that has got the results that you want to do, and then they actually deliver what you want them to deliver. Like I say, if you want to make 100K, 10 hours a week, and I specialize in being able to do this from anywhere in the world, that's going to be really cool. Whereas actually, if you're like obsessed with, I want to go to every property, I want to be there, and that's not my thing. It's not my game. And then somebody else will be better out there. But you have to invest in yourself. The more you invest, the more you're invested. And here's the big one, especially in property. You need to understand that the biggest asset in property isn't the property investment, it's you. And if you won't invest in yourself, then why would an investor? Think about it. If you're in my situation and you're going, I want you to joint venture with me, Jamie, and invest 200 grand in me. I'll go, great. How much have you invested in yourself? Nothing. Right, so you want 200,000 from me, but you won't back yourself. That is insane. Now remember, you don't need to be spending tens of £1,000s, like just like a few grand, like could be your mum, your dad, a credit card, whatever it is to get yourself started. You need to be getting your own finances in check there. And then you build yourself up, then you make a bit of money, then you get a mentor, right? You need to know enough to take the next step safely and wisely. The biggest downside for me in property is that yes, you can make a shit ton of money, but these are big ticket items. If you get these wrong, you can also lose a load. Moving on to no time. You work full time, maybe you've got kids, weekends are full, evenings disappear. I get it, time is precious, but here's the thing, it's also elastic. Nobody magically finds time. You make it, you prioritize it, you protect it. Think about Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, me and you. We each have 168 hours in our week. If you've got more, let me know the fucking secret. But the reality is, everyone's got 168 hours. Then we need to sleep, then we need to do our morning business and everything in between. So we have, let's say, I don't know, let's say 90 hours a week that you're awake for and could do something. What are you doing? Oh, I've got a job, Jamie, that's 40 hours. All right, you got 50 hours a week. Yeah, but Jamie, I've got travel time. All right, let's say you got 40 hours a week. Oh, yeah, but then I've got to put the kids to bed. All right, cool, let's call that 35 hours a week. Let's call it 30 hours a week. What are you doing? It's absolute bollocks when somebody says, I don't have time. Instead, catch yourself and say, I don't prioritize it high enough. And by the way, that's fine. Genuinely, if your financial future isn't your highest priority, that doesn't make you a bad person. It's really important to get that. I'm not mocking you. For me, it is. And that's why my bank balance reflects that. Whereas going out and having loads of friends is not a priority, hence why I'm in this studio filming all on my own. I hope you can hear his laughter in the background. No, look, it's not my highest priority. So I've got a really small, close-knit group of friends, and this might sound pathetic to you. Some of my closest friends work with me, work for me, or they're mentees, because I like surrounding myself with people with a great mindset like that. Now, that doesn't make it right or wrong. For you, you might be the biggest social butterfly and going out partying is your thing. That's great. Maybe you've got, I don't know, 15 kids or something like that. Whatever your priority is, that's amazing. But just don't fool yourself into saying that I don't have time. It's not true. Everyone has the exact same amount of time. The question is, what am I willing to sacrifice to create a better future for me and my loved ones? So let's think about looking at this no time barrier. Say you're working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, you pick the kids up from school, handle dinner and bedtime by 8 p.m. You're shattered. Your weekends are full with family career commitments. Where's this time you talk about, Jamie? Here's what you do. Block 2 hours in your week. Maybe it's a Saturday night from 8 till 9 and Sunday 8 till 9. This is your non-negotiable property focus time. Maybe you dedicate that to watching a video. But hey, if you're watching this video right now, you have the time, right? You put it in your calendar, you let your partner or your family know it's important to you. Explain why it's important to you, because this is how you're going to change your life. This is who you are. This is how you turn up now, and it's going to impact them positively. And by the way, don't be shocked at this, especially with people that love you, partners, loved ones, your mums, your dad, your cousin, your sister, your brother. Some of them, even if they do love you and support you, will roll their eyes at you, say, be careful, sounds like a scam to me, because it's new to them. Everything that's new is going to be scary. And remember, if you want to have the life that 99% of people will never have, you have to do the things that 99% of people will never be able to do. They could even help you, get them involved, help them scroll through listings, sit with you whilst you watch an educational video, make them feel part of it. Now, what do you do in these 2 hours? Week 1, research the basics of strategies. Okay, just get an understanding. Week 2, pick it, learn it, buy to let, HMO, service accommodation, learn, immerse yourself. Week 3, start looking at real listings, run the numbers, learn how to analyze. Week 4, reach out to agents, ask questions, book viewings if you're ready. Bit by bit, you'll build momentum. Understand that where you're at right now is a summation of the choices and habits that you've had up until now. That's it. That's who you are today, is a summation of everything that's happened before. So if you want to be somewhere different 12 months from now, does it not logically follow that you need a new set of habits, a new set of decisions, a new set of choices? And these are 2 hours every single week that can really shift your life moving forward. So how do we move forward from here? We've talked about the roadblocks and you've looked at ways that you could find. But here's how you actually start moving forward. First of all, identify your main bottleneck. Be honest, what's really holding you back? Not surface, not I don't have the time, it's the kids, not the money, the real one. It's fear, right? Is it fear of making a mistake? Is it fear from lack of clarity? Start there, write it down. Own your part in it. It's so easy to externalize, and externalize is blaming everyone but you, by the way. Oh, that's the way I was brought up. I wasn't brought up in that way. It's the interest rates. Oh man, if I could buy it 10 years from now. Oh, back in that day. Jamie, you started back then, it was way easier. It's like, yeah, welcome to everyone that's older's problem. Oh, when I was your age, it was way more difficult. Oh, back then this happened. Or that. Stop blaming interest rates, property prices, the economy, your mum, your dad, your situation. You are in charge of your destiny. And as soon as you start internalizing that, taking ownership, is the day that your life starts changing. Carve out your weekly property focus time. Like we said earlier, this is a non-negotiable. Could be 2 hours, not ideal, but those 2 hours can have more impact than you think. Put it in your diary, treat it like an appointment with your future self. Then educate yourself deliberately. Don't just consume content. I love the fact you're on this channel. By the way, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. I really think it will make a difference to you. And it's nice for my ego, every now and then to get a subscriber. So do that now. But genuinely, don't just watch all my videos. There's over 1,000 of you on there. That's ridiculous. What ones actually relate to you? What ones are going to help you? If you can't find a video, put it in the comments. I will create that video for you. Ask the question, get the answers. And the better you can be with that, the better you'll get the answers and be able to be coachable and mentored moving forward. Focus on the small wins. Don't aim to buy your first house in 30 days. Aim to analyze 5 properties this week, or aim to call an agent. These small steps are how you build confidence and results. And finally, track what you are doing. Honestly, track what works. When you were winning, what were you doing when you were winning? It's easier to go back in time and go, this is when things were starting to really feel good for me. Well, what was I doing? What time was I getting up? What actions were I taking? Use a simple spreadsheet or a journal and note down what you've done, all right? Momentum is built through reflection and small pieces of progress. By now, I think you've really made the decision of if property's for you. And if it's not, and this video has helped you understand, actually, it's going to take hard work. I really need to focus, and it's not for me. I don't prioritize it. Jamie's right. I say I don't have time, but the reality is I just don't care enough about it. Amazing. That's really great. Unsubscribe from the channel. Don't come back and crack on with a different area of your life. But if you are sat there going, do you know what? I've just made excuses. I've blamed the world. I've externalized. I've said I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have knowledge. Maybe it's time to change that. And if you align with me, then I'd love to have a strategy session with you. So this is completely free, one-to-one with me or my team. And what we're going to do is we'll map out on that strategy session where you're at and where you want to get to. And the outcome is I'll give you a bit of a path to follow, but hopefully we might be aligned. Now, it won't be for every single person, by the way, but if at the end of that call, I believe I can help you, then I'll put forward the roadmap on how to make that happen. Now, spaces are limited. Obviously, this is a video one-to-many, and a one-to-one call is very much that, a one-to-one call. But if you'd like to secure one of them, put education in the comments below. I'm going to send you a link, fill in your details, and a bit more info on you and where you want to get to. And we'll have that one-to-one strategy session. But this is your chance. Look, this isn't a big pitch. If you're serious about this and you want to start taking action, then book in a call, because you can't control what you did yesterday, but you can sure as hell control what you're doing today. And remember, before you can manage a property portfolio, you need to be able to manage yourself. There's your training ground. If you don't have the budget in place, that's your first win to get. So there you have it. 3 of the biggest reasons people never invest. How to stop them from holding you back. And it doesn't matter where you're starting from. What matters is that you start. Money, time, knowledge, none of those are deal breakers. It's just in your head. They're obstacles to be overcome with solutions. You've just got to be willing to face them honestly and do the work. I hope you found this helpful. If you're ready to take it to the next step, you know what to do. Put education, I'll put a link in, book in your one-to-one strategy session. I genuinely hope I can help you take it to that next level. And even if you're watching this, but you're serious, but you're not quite ready for that next step, subscribe to the channel. Hit subscribe and the notification bell, and maybe some of the upcoming videos can change your life. I'll see you in the next one.